One was the face of the traditional American cowboy. The other redefined the genre with grit and moral complexity. But despite their shared place in Western history, John Wayne had no intention of ever working with Clint Eastwood. Why? Well, the answer says more about the Western genre and America than you might expect. Setting the stage. John Wayne was already an icon when Clint Eastwood was just getting started. With films like Stagecoach, Red River, and The Searchers, Wayne embodied the classic Western hero, a man of principle, patriotism, and frontier justice. Clint Eastwood, meanwhile, rose to fame in the 1960s through Rawhide and Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy. His man with no name persona was quiet, ruthless, and morally ambiguous. He didn't represent law and order. He survived in a lawless world. The turning point, the decline of the classic Western. By the late 60s and early 70s, America was changing, and so was the Western. Audiences were drawn to stories with darker themes, anti-heroes, and flawed protagonists. Films like The Wild Bunch, McCabe and Mrs. Miller, and Eastwood's own High Plains Drifter challenged the myths of the Old West. John Wayne's brand of upright, idealistic cowboys began to feel dated to a younger audience. Still, he refused to compromise his vision of the Western. He believed the genre should inspire, not demoralize. The real story. John Wayne's reaction to High Plains Drifter. When Clint Eastwood released High Plains Drifter in 1973, it made waves. The film offered a surreal, violent, and allegorical take on frontier justice. Eastwood played a ghostly figure who arrives in a corrupt town and enacts brutal vengeance. John Wayne saw the film and didn't hold back. He wrote Eastwood a letter criticizing the movie, saying, "That isn't the American people who settled this country." The Dirty Harry connection. Years before High Plains Drifter, John Wayne had the chance to play another iconic role, Harry Callahan. The script for Dirty Harry was originally offered to John Wayne, but he turned it down, reportedly feeling it was too violent and morally murky. After Clint Eastwood took the part and turned it into one of his most successful roles, the contrast between the two actors became even sharper. John Wayne later expressed regret at not taking the role, and some believe this added to the quiet rivalry that existed between them. Eastwood's cynical portrayal of justice stood in direct contrast to John Wayne's idealistic one. The missed collaboration, what might have been. Around that same time, Clint Eastwood approached John Wayne with a script for a potential film where the two would co-star. The film, titled The Hostiles, was meant to bring together two generations of Western stars. Clint Eastwood tried multiple times to get John Wayne on board, but Wayne declined each time. According to reports, John Wayne's son Michael even handed him the script on one occasion while they were out on the ocean. John Wayne reportedly threw the script overboard, saying, "This piece of shit again?" That moment underscored just how strongly Wayne opposed the project. It wasn't just about one film. It was about a deeper divide in values and the vision each man had for what the Western should represent. Philosophies of the West. For John Wayne, Westerns were about honor, courage, and a clear sense of right and wrong. They were myths, yes, but necessary ones. They showed us the kind of people we should strive to be. Clint Eastwood, on the other hand, saw the myth as dangerous. His films questioned the cost of violence, the reliability of justice, and the hypocrisy of civilization. Years later, in Unforgiven, he will deconstruct the entire heroic gunslinger trope. The closest they came. The closest John Wayne and Clint Eastwood ever came to working together was on the set of The Shootist. It was John Wayne's final film. The director, Don Siegel, had previously worked with Eastwood on multiple films, including Dirty Harry. Clint Eastwood visited the set during production and had a cordial meeting with John Wayne. Though no formal collaboration came of it, that visit was a moment of mutual respect. Two Western icons whose paths never fully aligned on screen. Legacy of the Divide. Even though they never worked together, both John Wayne and Clint Eastwood left an indelible mark on the Western genre. Wayne represents the golden age of Westerns, idealized, heroic, and optimistic. Clint Eastwood ushered in a new era of introspection, realism, and moral complexity. Their divide mirrors a shift in American culture, from certainty to skepticism, from myth to realism. Final thoughts. John Wayne and Clint Eastwood stood on the opposite ends of the Western frontier. One believed in preserving the legend, the other was determined to question it. That divide helped define the evolution of the entire genre. And while they never worked together, both men had one thing in common. They knew their way around a six-gun. So who really was the fastest gunslinger in Hollywood? You might be surprised. Watch this video next to find out. Howdy folks, I hope you've enjoyed this look at two legends of the West and why they never worked together. We've just launched memberships here on YouTube. If you'd like to support what we're doing and unlock special perks, saddle up and join the posse and become a part of the great American Western family. Thank you. See you next time.